Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So the Seattle Seahawks just beat the Washington football team 20-15. The Washington football team almost came back from 20-3, but at the end of the day, they lost. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the biggest takeaways of today and some positives and negatives on the game. If you guys are new, make sure you guys subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right to it. And first things first, this is going to be a little, not everyone's going to agree with me. A lot of people think that Haskins played great, and some people think he played terrible. I'm right in the middle. But first things first, Dustin Hopkins continues to lose the Washington football team. He just keeps on losing us games. I mean, your job as a kicker is to make kicks, obviously. And he made a 48-yard field goal. That's fine. But he misses his extra point, and that was costly because we lost this game by 5. But because he missed that extra point, we were forced to go for 2 the next drive. And instead of it being 20-15, or instead of it being 20-17, it was 20-15 on that last drive. So we could have gotten a field goal to tie the game. But again, Dustin Hopkins continues to lose us game. And it's just unacceptable at this point. At least 3 games this year where you can say he makes that kick, we win, or we at least go to overtime. It's just almost every game. Let's get into some positives and negatives on the game. Dwayne Haskins, 38 out of 55, 295 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. You know, in the first half, it was not good. That first interception, should not have thrown that ball, should have probably thrown that away. Some people were talking about, Isaiah Wright got in the way of it. Not really sure on that pick. You can debate that pick all you want. The second interception, though, that was a very, very bad interception. After he had a solid pass to Terry McLaurin. Not sure what he was looking at there. We'll find out later. But after that, he had some solid drives and got us 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Logan Thomas had a really good game. I mean, got targeted 15 times and caught 13 of those passes. And had 101 yards. What a game by Logan Thomas. Definitely a tight end one. I don't want to hear it from anyone. I've been saying this for a while. I do think he can be that solid starting tight end. And the problem with Dwayne for me is, in the first, even in the second and the third quarter, he would have some nice throws, but then he would follow it up with a poor decision or an interception. That's what he has to fix. But at least the end of the game does encourage me a little bit for if he does have to start next week. It encourages me a little bit more. What did he rush for? 3 rushes, 28 yards. And also, one of my keys to victory in this game was that our playmakers have to help him out. And, some players stepped up and made some nice plays. Logan Thomas, beast. Terry McLaurin had a really nice catch. And had some nice plays. Same thing with Jaden McKissick. But let's get into some of the negatives. Cam Sims dropped a pass he should have had. That's a 10+ yard gain. Let's see. Robert Foster drops another pass, should have been caught. Peyton Barber drops another pass, should have been caught. These guys have to make these plays. They're NFL receivers and gotta make the plays. Even though it's not a perfectly thrown ball, you have to help out your backup quarterback and make these throws. The offensive line, I thought they held up really well right up until that last drive. I mean, Haskins got sacked 3 times on that last drive. Again, Moses was hurt. He came back in. That kind of played into it. That really hurt us. And again, now let's get into the negatives. And here's the thing. Here's a big reason why we lost this game. You look at the Seahawks had 180 yards rushing. That a huge part of that is because of the loss of Cole Holcomb, Kevin Pierre-Louis, and even Sean Dion Hamilton, who was out after the first half. That really hurt us because, they weren't able to fill the gaps. Jonathan Vilma was talking, I personally did not like him talking about how bad our D-line's playing. Sure, they weren't getting pressure, but in the run game, it's not necessarily all their fault. The linebackers have to do better. And one more thing, I don't care how many linebackers you have on the field. Let's not put Thomas Davis on the field again. Man, he is slow man, he is just super, super slow. Can't do anything. Can't even tackle. Terry McLaurin had a solid game, 7 catches, 77 yards. You know, he had one catch where I thought he should have made, but besides that, had a solid game. McKissick had a good game. Finally got his first receiving touchdown of the year. And besides that, I mean, no one really had a great game on offense. Isaiah Wright played solid, and Steven Sims had 1 catch for 11 yards. On defense, no one really played that great. I thought Cameron Curl played pretty well. Khalid Hudson had some nice tackles, but I'm not sure how well he did in the run game, if he was able to fill in his gaps, him and Bostic, Thomas Davis, and others. So we'll have to see that. Film-wise, Reeves did okay. He had an okay game in coverage. I mean, overall, the secondary, they allowed 121 yards to Russell Wilson, and I think that's pretty solid. You know, he was 18 for 27, so that's pretty solid in my book by the secondary. Linebackers did not play good at all, in my opinion, and hopefully we get, at the very least, Cole Holcomb or Kevin Pierre-Louis back next week. That's what we really need. And let's go back to Haskins. And I know, like I said, some people want him out of here. Some people don't like him at all. And some people are obsessed with him. I'm in the middle. I thought, first half did not play good at all. Again, though, the receivers got to help him out. In the second half, did not start out strong, but had some nice throws. And then finally, those last couple of drives had some, helped us out a lot. And the big thing is, and this is what it comes down to, turnovers lose you games. And we only forced 1 turnover on defense, and we had 2 turnovers on offense. This year, we are undefeated when winning the turnover battle, and the Seahawks have lost every single game this year when losing the turnover battle. So that's what we had to do, and we didn't do it. Defense, I'll give them this. After that drive, the first drive by the Seahawks in the first half, they allowed them to 0 points. And considering the injuries we had with DeShazier Everett out, we had KPL out, we had Cole Holcomb out, Sean Deon Hamilton out, I thought they did okay. Got to get better in the running game. I mean, the Seahawks averaged 7 yards per run, so that's not good. Pass defense was good, though. And, Scott Turner, I thought he was a little babying Dwayne Haskins a little bit too much in that first quarter, kind of opened up the playbook a little bit more in that second half. I like that. I don't necessarily know if I like that 2-point conversion call. We're 0 for 5 on 2-point conversions on this year. We were passing the ball well, so I don't know. I also did not agree with, we had the ball first and goal at the 2-yard line, and they throw 2 passes incomplete. I think you have the 2-yard line. You have a guy in Barber who can, get some yards. I thought they should have gave it to him. McKissick ran the ball okay, 13 carries, 51 yards, 4 yards per carry. He slipped a couple times, which really lowered his yards per carry. Barber did not have a good game, 4 carries, 5 yards. Did get a touchdown, though, which did help us out a ton. And yeah, I mean, that is it. We fall to 6-8. Again, not the end of the world. We can still definitely win the division. All we need today is the Eagles to lose and the Giants to lose, and we should be fine. And honestly, hopefully Alex Smith is back. Hopefully he's back next week because we need him. But after this second half, or at least fourth quarter performance by Dwayne Haskins, I'm not necessarily comfortable with him playing for us, but I'm definitely more comfortable than I was in that second and third quarter. So let's see what Dwayne Haskins can do moving forward if he is indeed forced to start. This team continues to fight in that second half, but we got to finish that game out. And Dustin Hopkins, again, costs us another game, and it's just ridiculous. We need a consistent kicker. You cannot miss an extra point. That is just ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know if they're going to cut him, but there should be definitely some consideration of finding a new kicker after this year, because missing an extra point is that's terrible.